Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back for yet another video. Today I'm going to be walking through a integration between Stripe and Attio that we built for subscriptions. It's called Stripe Subscriptions. I'm going to walk through how to set it up and the features that it contains. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so this is my Attio instance. For our demo, I'm going to just search here for Stripe, and you'll see here there is a Stripe Subscriptions app that I can come in and now install. It's going to require a connection. Before I do this connection, I want to show you one where you can get the connection key in Stripe, and then also importantly, click on my data here because I want to show you that there's currently no custom object for subscriptions. And so let me just go back to the Stripe subscriptions, and then I'll go over to Stripe. This is just a sandbox account we have. If you come up here and search for dev, you'll see a developers API section. So you can go to API keys here, and then there's a restricted key, in this case created for me, but you can also use a secret key. We recommend using a restricted key. I'm going to go ahead and create a new one, and I'll show you why. So you can select providing this key to a third-party application, continue. You can put in the details here if you'd like. If you don't want to do that, then you can actually select a integration that you have created, which is the first option here, and then you can click on powering an integration that you built here, and then click on continue. And then you can choose a permission template here. In this case, you can select recurring subscriptions and billing. If you didn't want to do this, then you can click choose your own, and then you're going to have to select the individual scopes here, which I don't necessarily recommend because you're going to have to search each one like this and then go find subscriptions. And then this is going to be read write. You also need to find customers, and this will have to be read write. And off the top of my head, there could be a couple of other scopes, but that's why we don't recommend selecting these manually. Because if you select the pre-installed recurring subscriptions and billing permissions, this will have the permissions that you need. So if we just scroll down here and look actually at what these are, it's got write on billing, and then it's got write on customers likely. Tax, webhook endpoints is also important for us to be able to send to Attio. So we'll go ahead and create the key here. We need to add a key name. You can just put in Stripe subscriptions. We click create key here, and that will create our restricted key. So now we can see Stripe subscriptions. We have our restricted key here. We can go ahead and click to copy this. And now we're back in Attio. We can click on connect here, and we can paste that restricted key in here and click on add connection. And then we can click into the settings tab here. And then there's a couple things. So here you'll see Stripe connection, if it will show connected to Stripe, real-time webhooks active, schema not set up yet. And so we need to set up the schema. So you can click on this re-verify schema here, and this will basically go and look, do you have a subscriptions object? Does that subscriptions object have the necessary keys or attributes rather? Those attributes will get created if they don't exist. So this is showing you that 24 of the attributes already existed, because when you add the connection here, it should by default go and try to basically verify the schema. So now that that's done, we have two setting options here right now. This is to auto create missing people, which we want to do because if there is a person in Stripe that doesn't exist in our CRM, we obviously want to sync that in. And then we also want to see canceled subscriptions because we want to track churn or, who's canceled and just be able to see that data in Attio as well. So we'll turn that on. And then I'm going to go ahead and just go back to Stripe here. And then I'm going to go to the subscriptions. All right, so as you can see, I do not have a subscription in Stripe currently. So we could click here to create a test subscription. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, so I've selected the customer here, Jane Doe, jane@example.com. I've selected a product and billing starting today. I'm going to go ahead and click create test subscription here. All right, so in Attio, I have the new subscription object here. I'm just going to go ahead and add a couple of the columns here so that way we can see the data get synced. And if I go back to the app, we can go into settings, and then I can click sync all now. And what this will do is it will go and look for any active subscriptions. So this is one way to sync subscriptions from Stripe into Attio, is to click on the sync button here. And this is good to retroactively sync. If you have a lot of subscriptions, this could time out and show a transport error, which is expected just because there is a specific timeout. If you click sync all now again, it will essentially pick up where it left off and sync all those in until they're all synced. We can see here it synced one subscription and none were updated. So now if I go back to that object, you can see that new subscription is in here, Attio Consulting with Jane Doe. Jane@example.com is the subscription that I created in Stripe. If I wanted to create another subscription from Attio itself, I could also do that. All right, so on the John Doe record here, I can click on this little 3-dot button here, and then I can go and hover over Stripe subscriptions, and then I can click on create Stripe subscription. That's gonna open up this pop-up box here. And so we're gonna, by default, have create new customer toggled on here, and it's going to pre-fill the data for us. And then for the product, it's going to load in the product. So you can see Attio Consulting, which is that product that I created. If you wanted to, you could select custom product and then type the product name in. And then you could also put in a custom price. But in this case, I'm just going to select this price that's already here. And I have no add-ons. So I'm going to leave this as 0. And then I'm going to create subscription. All right, so that subscription was created. I can click on open in Stripe here, and this will open up the Stripe dashboard. So now I'm in my subscriptions, and you can see that the John@example.com John Doe subscription is here. And notice that this one says send invoice, and that is because we created it from Attio, so they did not have a payment method by default. And you can see that because we created that subscription in Stripe through Attio, through the webhooks, is now showing up here in the subscriptions object in Attio, because we have that webhook get set up when you put your API key in for Stripe. Thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this type of content, please subscribe. And if you want to get notified of new videos that we're dropping, hit the bell icon. And if you have any other feature suggestions or integration suggestions, you can drop those in the comments below, or we can also leave the support channel details in the description below. Until next time, cheers.